You have entered the Chronic's rabbit hole. This is Noa Gruman from Hellscore, and you are watching Storytime with E.T.C. episode 21.
Life's an enigma.
Noah,
Hello.
hey,
Hello. Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're very well, and you can hear us pretty good too.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you sound and look great. Love your room that you're in there too. It looks awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool, Noah.
So
And whereabouts are you from? Like right now, where are you living?
I live in the desert in the
In the,
south of Israel.
wow, okay, so
Very
you
nice.
still live in Israel. That's amazing.
Yes, yes, I do. Yeah.
That is so cool. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us today. This is my lovely wife, Alana.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
newlyweds. Thank you so
congratulations.
much.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it really is. We're very excited to be able to do stuff together like this as well. So,
Yeah,
do
that's
you,
lovely.
it is those who play together stay together, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start the interview then. And again, thank you
Cool.
so much, Noah. Welcome back to Storytime with ETC. This is episode 21, and I am Kyle, aka Chronic.
And I'm Alana, aka Wifey, and today we're joined with someone truly unique. This is Noah Gurman.
And you might have seen my reaction to Hellscore's collab with Epica, and that's where my job pretty much hit the floor. It's metal, it's a cappella, and it's insane in the best way.
So we had to talk to the mastermind herself, vocalist, conductor, and founder of Hellscore and leader of singer of Scardust, Noa Gruman. Noah, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. We're very excited to get to know you and your projects a lot more. So we have a first segment here, and it's called The Origins of Hellscore.
So
Mhm.
let's start with a big one. Hellscore, where did the idea of a metal a cappella choir come from?
All right, let's dive in.
Yeah,
The idea started around the time we recorded Scardust, recorded our first full-length album, Sense of Time. We
okay,
recorded it in 2016, and back then I was full-time voice teacher, and I had a lot of students who are into metal.
nice.
So I asked all of them if they wanted to participate in the album as a part of a choir.
Oh,
And yeah, and they all said yes. So we spent a lovely weekend recording the choir parts for Sands of Time. And I found myself basically leading and conducting a choir
wow.
without ever intending to do that. It just kind of, this is what the album needed.
Right.
And I just found myself in this position and I just loved it. I fell in love with it. I fell
It's a
in love with
unique
choir
position.
conducting. Yes, it's like it is a musical instrument, but
Hmm.
you also get to work with people and
Right,
you have to have all all these people to play your instrument and you have to have all those friendships and connections and
right.
interactions. And everybody in the studio had fun this weekend. So I guess I just realized that I kind of have to do this. I kind of have to make this an ongoing thing,
Wow.
give it a name, and just start, this is where I started writing um like a cappella arrangements for known rock and metal songs.
Right,
And I guess this idea came from I've sang in many a cappella groups throughout my life.
right. Okay.
Hmm.
Two
But
for
I never
six.
sang. Two for six, for example. Yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah,
Um, some of them were just a hobby thing. Some of them were more professional, like two for six.
right.
Um, but I've never sang any metal a cappella, and I didn't know of any a cappella group that sings metal a cappella, except for Van Canto,
Right.
Hmm.
which were my main inspiration when I just started out with hellscore. But they do it a bit differently. They use a drum, like a real drum kit, and also they use like vocal effects, um, like the amplification,
Okay.
the effects they use on the sound, which is awesome. But I thought, what if instead of, 6 people, we are 40 people,
Oh, jeez.
and we have a beatboxer or even several beatboxers, and we
Yeah.
just achieve this massive sound with a whole choir.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah, and
so
this is how it happened.
ambitious.
Yeah, thank you.
So
I
it came through necessity in a way too.
kind of, but it's like at some point I just felt like I have to do this. Like
Wow.
I'm onto something.
You are. You sure are.
You sure were onto something.
You're extremely needed, and what's so cool about your answer here is we actually one of our questions was you mentioned Van Canto as an influence. What did you want to do differently with Hellscore? And you kind of mentioned that you wanted to bring in 40 instead of 6 people, no instruments itself. I thought there was instruments the first time I heard you guys, but that's how good you
Wow.
are at what you do. And then I guess it was always in your mind to have a 40 voice powerhouse, or was it your idea to start more modestly?
Well, it did start with just 11 or 12 people in my living room.
Wow.
But I didn't know if I wanted exactly 40 people. It's just a number that with time I realized, okay, that's a full choir, but it's not too many people because
Right.
Hmm.
um at some point you realize when there is too many people, you kind of lose the sense of community a little bit, like the family feeling that is
Absolutely.
so important. So I made the decision to keep it around 40 people. But this is a decision that kind of came with experimenting a little bit. At some point, we were a little over 40, and then it felt like it's a little too much.
Right.
But yeah, 40 is like the golden number now.
That makes sense because you still need to have the camaraderie to want to continue to push this incredible music together. So I think 40 is a great number that you figured out there.
Perfect sweet spot. And the name Hellscore, it's a brilliant name. What was the story behind coming up with that name?
Thank you. We brainstormed a lot at the beginning, and I think it's my sister who is
Hmm.
also in the choir who came up with this. But it was like after a very long, like we wanted something that is a play on word. And we wanted something that when people hear the name, they know instantly what it is.
Yes.
Hmm.
So the hell represents, um, first of all, I mean, metal, and it's
Hmm.
dark, and there is red, and it's something bigger than life.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
then on the other hand, you have uh, either the score or
Yeah.
the core, depending on how
Yes.
you
Right.
yeah. And I think we kind of we played around those two extremes a lot when brainstorming a name until my sister kind of said it and it made so much sense. Yeah, I agree. It's really spot on.
It
Well done, Renat.
is. I didn't even realize because when I looked at it, I was like, oh, hell score. This makes sense. It's a score of music, straight from hell type of idea. But I
Yeah.
like how you just retrained it or twisted it a little so it's hell's core. Because if
Yeah.
hell had a choir, you would be the core of the music. And I love that.
Yeah, and core could also mean a choir.
And a choir
Oh,
can
I didn't
also
think of
mean,
that. That's
I didn't
cool.
think of that either. That's so cool. So many double or triple meanings to the name.
And also really cool that your sister is with you too, because I know you had a family band as well. So that must have continued on from the family band, and you're still doing this.
Yes, my two sisters are in the choir,
Oh,
and my brother does our front of house sound.
Oh,
really?
So
wow.
everybody is
Oh, it's family time.
on the
This is
same
great.
side. Yes, yes. I love my siblings. Shout out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what you'd mentioned that there at some point you started with 11 or 12 people in the choir in your living room. It got up past 40 and now it's kind of down to that 40 is that special number. What does the audition process look like for Hellscore? How did you find metalheads who can also sing harmony?
Yeah. I'm looking for, when auditioning people, I'm looking for, I don't really care about big developed voices.
Hmm.
If they
Right.
have a nice voice, it's always a plus, but it's not like a necessity. Um, I want to see that they can hear. That's a weird sentence. A good ear is the most important thing because
Hmm.
once somebody is able to hear, then they're it's much easier for them to learn and develop,
Hmm.
which is the second most important thing is the will to learn and develop.
Right.
Because and I met really great musicians who are just not into getting better.
Right. Okay.
So to me, it's more important to have somebody who may not be the most professional, but they really want to get better. And they
Coachable.
really, yes, and they are willing to put in the hours and to practice at home, and they will get better.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
10 times out of 10, they will get better if they put in the hours. Yeah.
Very
And then, of
true.
course, I look for personality because
Of
we
course, you
are a
need
family.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. We are a family. And, um, but naturally, people who come to audition for Hellscore are great people because
Hmm.
it's
That's who you
just,
attract.
I guess so. It's like
Has there
mostly, geeks and just nice people. I don't know.
has there been anyone that has been with you since the beginning of Hellscore for some of the singers with you?
Wow. Yes, some of
Oh,
them. My two sisters,
of course, yeah.
but also like people who joined in the first year or two. There are several of them. Yeah,
That's really cool.
Very cool.
yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's been
I know.
wow. It's been almost 9 years now. Wow.
Wow.
Almost a decade. Wow, Noah. So
Whew.
with all these people then, is it difficult getting everyone on the same page, literally and musically, with 40 people and no instruments?
Yes and no.
Nice.
Um, because once you hit that chord that is so well blended and sounds divine, everybody is drawn in. Everybody is into it, and it's the most beautiful sound in the world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is like on the one hand, it's like the goal is to reach this chord, and on the other hand, it's also what motivates everyone the most to keep going. But then on the other hand, it is 40
Yeah.
adults who come to every rehearsal normally after a full day of work,
Right.
Hmm.
and they need this outlet to also socialize and to bring out, all the things
Oh, the
they
angst
went
and
through.
everything. Yep.
Yeah. So it's not always easy to get everyone focused at
Hmm.
every given moment. Um, yeah, but
With a great leader like you, it looks like you know how to herd the choir in a way
at times,
at times.
I want to believe that mostly, not always though. It could be
That's great.
challenging.
That's really cool to hear how like it's like it is challenging, but how well everything kind of works out. And from what you were saying, it sounds like you do your rehearsals mostly live, so everyone's coming together in a big room. Have you ever had to do these arrangements over like Zoom if someone's not able to make it, or how has that worked even? What challenges have arisen?
Your pandemic time even.
Yes. 2.5 years of
Jeez.
Zoom rehearsals and rehearsals in outdoors where we cannot be 2 meters apart,
Right.
which was,
Mhm.
wow. Actually, we made a documentary about
Oh.
um, being a choir during a pandemic, and it's on YouTube.
Oh,
Very
So
creative.
cool.
yeah, you can check it out. We really documented how we found solutions and what worked, what didn't work.
Cool.
I also interviewed other choir leaders, some
Right
of my
on.
friends and colleagues. So you get kind of to see how other people, how other choirs did it. This was very, very, very challenging to say the least. But even after the pandemic, um, in some points, if for example, for example, like I think 2 years ago, I had something in my back and I couldn't walk. I could only lie
Oh,
down, but I could function. I could talk. Like there was no problem to
okay.
do anything
Right.
as long as I was lying down. So I did a few rehearsals via Zoom. I even like they were in the same room together and I was on
Laying
Zoom.
down.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
I think we even did a recording session like this once. So yeah, it's crazy how many things are possible these days with technology.
Yeah, no kidding.
But also incredible, you all must be from southern Israel then?
No, no, most of them are from the center of Israel,
Okay.
from the Tel Aviv area, and then some of them are
Even
spread
farther.
around.
Really? Oh,
Some
wow.
are in the north, and yeah. So, but Tel Aviv is like a nice place in the middle, and Israel is really not that big, so
Very true.
nothing takes over an hour and a half drive to get from one place to another. So,
That's
Okay.
true. We live on Vancouver Island, and I think our island's about the same size as your country there, I think. So that's cool.
yeah. So you know the feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's talk about some of your major collaborations then. That's how I got to know you myself. So we first found Hellscore through Epica's Time, which was mind-blowing vocals. Honestly, it's what I probably like that version more than the original version. That's how
Wow.
much the do the way that you guys brought that in, it's stuck in me. So you've
Mhm.
you've done your job that way. And
Thank you
she
so
has a great
much.
question for you. You're welcome.
What was it like working with Simone Simmons and Mark Jansen on that track?
They are so sweet.
Yeah, they are.
Uh, you know how they say like never meet your heroes
Those are the
because
ones to
then it
be
kind of breaks the fantasy and Epica they've been my heroes since like 20 years ago.
cool.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, I couldn't have imagined having a better
Time.
connection. Like they are so, yeah. They are super sweet. I felt like they really respect me and they take my input into consideration while also being true to their arts. And it was
Right.
just
Mhm.
really good time. Everything went smoothly, and I think everybody is happy. So yes.
Absolutely happy, and they are some of the sweetest people too, and that's so cool how much you were influenced by them as well. Because I know a Hell score could go behind Epica in some albums as well. I know, so hopefully you guys get a cool continuing collabs with each other.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, there are many Epica fans in the choir, as you
I
could probably
bet.
expect.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So and then there's Therian, Amorphous, Ailstorm, Gloryhammer, and the list keeps growing. How do these collaborations typically come about, though?
Wow. They kind of happen naturally.
Okay.
Um, we started out, I mean, Sands of Time, Scardust Sands of Time here. Yeah, this was the
Yeah.
first one before even Hellscore was an official thing. But then I made this one.
Love it.
It's a really tiny one. It's a CD.
Oh, it's the one inside of it. Okay.
Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs by Orphan Land, recorded in 2017, and Hellscore was not even 1 year old.
Right.
But Orphan Land are close friends. I've been singing with them since 2016,
Wow.
so it was very natural to collaborate on this. And they've worked with Jens Bogren. Um, I think he mixed this album, and then he found out about Hellscore and
Cool.
suggested Amorphis to use Hellscore in their. This is very confusing.
You're
In
doing so
this
good.
one, yes, Queen of Time. Um, and this is how the collaboration with Amorphis happened, and so on and so on. So more producers hear about us.
Right.
Um,
Domino
more
effect.
artists hear about us, and then they invite us to collaborate with them. With Therion, it happened a little differently because Therion were in Tel Aviv in 2018, and Scardust opened for them.
Oh, cool.
Now, yeah, it was very, very cool, and they are also so sweet, really, really sweet people. We had a really good time with them,
Right on.
and we really made a connection. And I figured, Therion are like the founding fathers of
Mhm.
choirs in metal,
Yeah.
and I just started a choir. Back then, I just started a choir. I have to try to have Hellscore do a song or two with Therion live on
That gives me
stage.
goosebumps.
And yeah, me too. Like now when I think about it, when I remember it, wow, who would have thought? And the promoter was a friend of mine, and he really liked the idea, so he suggested it to Christopher, and he decided to roll with it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we did two songs with them live on stage. The entire choir back then was, I
Oh,
think, like tw 25 people maybe. Um, and I think what Christopher saw is that, we work fast, we're efficient, we love the music.
that helps.
Mhm.
And then he just offered me to do 3 albums with
Oh
them.
my God.
That's amazing.
High
Oh my
five. Like,
It is.
that's
God.
great.
It is really amazing.
You
So we
gotta
did
act
the whole
fast.
super fast. The whole Leviathan trilogy
Gosh.
happened this way,
Wow.
and it's
That's
also
like
here. Yes.
that's like a dream come true when you get to like be the backing when you are a choir and you get to be the choir vocals for one of your favorite bands is like,
Yeah.
man, that would have been so surreal for all of you.
Yes, definitely. I remember myself when I just started out in my, teens, when I was 16, 17, I just started singing more professionally. In my wildest dreams, couldn't have imagined this scenario. So yeah, kind of
Way to stay
surreal.
focused.
I know you just mentioned how the Leviathan trilogy that you guys did with Therion. Other than that one, have any of these collabs stood out to you or been particularly meaningful or challenging?
Wow, all of them. All of them are meaningful.
Yeah, eh?
All of them are challenging. I cannot name one that is more meaningful than the other. Obviously, there is Arian, which is also like Arian Lucasen is we're all
Yes.
huge fans
Oh,
of
geez.
his. Glory Hammer was just tons of fun because you sing
Because it's
about
glory.
goblins and it's like so many inside jokes and memes happened there. And Ailstorm, I mean, we just did one song with them, but then they came to Tel Aviv and we hopped on stage during that song
Wow.
with like, I don't remember what it was, like balloon swords and just stupid stuff and sang the whole song with them on
That
stage.
sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was. So all of them, all of them.
I think the
Sorry, I'm
cool
avoiding the answer, but I cannot give you one.
No, that's a perfect answer. I don't think that's avoidant because there when you go through so many amazing experiences, it's hard to just pinpoint one in particular, and I think that's a perfect answer.
and to be fair, we mentioned that like meeting your hero sometimes can be a letdown, but with metal, I've never not been happy with meeting the my heroes in metal, and I think that's what makes every interaction and collaboration between all the groups just so fruitful and so happy.
Mhm.
And we love your enthusiasm, Noah. It's very infectious too.
Aw, I appreciate it. Thank
Of
you.
course. So now we're on to your musical journey for this segment. So you're not just Hellscore. You've got this huge range from your family band, Kol Hamishpaha, which I
Yeah.
believe is the family's voice in the whole family in Hebrew,
Yes.
to 2 for 6, to fronting Scardust.
And we read that you studied with Floor Jansen. That's incredible. What was the experience like studying with one of the queens of metal?
It was amazing. She gave me so much, and it was very inspiring to me. I even at one point I was daring enough to work with her on one of her songs,
Oh, wow.
Energize Me by After Forever.
Great song.
And
Great song.
yeah, it is. And it's so challenging. But um, I have like some sentences that she said to me that got stuck in my head, mainly about life goals. She
Oh,
gave me a really good advice. I don't know, she probably doesn't remember, but she gave me a really, really good life advice that like make your 10 years goal a wild dream. Like
right.
make a list of your 10 years goals that are not supposed to be
They seem
realistic or
unachievable.
achievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then look at this list and make a midpoint, like the 5 years plan
Yeah.
that is achievable and is the middle point between now and your unachievable 10 years goal.
Wow.
Wow.
It's such an incredible advice.
It really is incredible advice because it pushes you to think, to surpass your own beliefs of what you are able to achieve and gives
Yes,
you a structured standing on how to achieve it. That's
exactly.
the best advice anyone could give you.
It's exactly that. Yeah.
And do you remember what you put in that 10 years and are you achieving that?
Well, it's been way more than 10 years. And
Right.
I think what's really nice about this advice is that this 5 year plan, because it's achievable,
Yeah.
you really work towards it. And then life kind of has its own way to show you more ways or other opportunities. Like I never would have thought I
Right.
would be a choir leader
Very true.
Yeah.
ever.
Ever.
But a part of this recording a full length progressive symphonic album with a full choir for my own band was in the 5 years list, and it
Wow.
got me to start Hellscore, which which achieved so much more than my 10 years
Yeah.
unachievable goal.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't even care what was in this 10 years goal.
Exactly. Because it keeps progressing
Like
too. You got to keep motivated.
exactly. Maybe something like performing Wakken's main stage, I think was on that list. It was one of the things on the list. But I performed on so many festivals. And I performed Wacken, not on the main stage, but on a really big one.
Nice.
And we opened for Blind Guardian in front of, arena.
Ooh.
So it's
Wow.
other things even cooler than that happened.
Right. What
Yeah.
great advice.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And something else I really wanted to know a little bit about your musical journey was you've also represented metal at the Royal Academy of Music. That's not something you hear every day. How has that influenced your approach to music and leadership?
So I studied choir directing at the Royal Academy of Music in Aarhus, Aalborg in Denmark.
Wow.
And yeah, I studied there and I was the only metalhead because um, people there come from many, many genres, many different styles, different parts of the world. But I was the only metalhead. I was the only person into metal.
Wow.
Um, so they gave me the opportunity to give some workshops at the academy.
Wow.
And I was there for like different times. I was there for a semester in 2017, I think, then another semester in 2019, and then I did a bigger program in 2022. And every time they kind of gave me a stage to present my um unique take on a cappella because
Wow.
they're not used to hearing this these vocal techniques in a cappella music or this type of arrangement in metal music. So they
Hmm.
were genuinely interested.
Mhm.
And also, and maybe this is what you were referring to, in 2019, we got to participate in this academy's festival. They host a festival every other year,
Right. Yeah.
the Aarhus Vocal Festival. And we participated there in 2019. Um, we performed, but we also participated in the competition,
Oh,
and we won the most innovative arrangement.
yeah.
Very cool.
Very
So maybe
innovative.
this is what you were referring to, because there it was like everybody got the same song and they had to arrange it in their own style. So, and I don't remember what song it was. Ah, um, not metal. I
It
don't
wasn't
remember what.
metal. Okay.
It was not metal. But we made it metal and then we made it a cappella.
Wow.
And yeah, people were really surprised. Nobody expected that, I think.
I bet something like that would have been such a showstopper to be able to see, to have an arrangement that's not metal arranged by an a cappella choir into a metal a cappella song would have
Yeah.
been just a sight to behold, a treat for the ears. Let's get nerdy for a second. We're talking about arranging songs. For
Mhm.
Hellscore, what's your starting point? Is it emotion, melody, chaos? Where do you start?
I need to have something to spark my inspiration.
Okay.
So when I hear a song, I need something to stand out to me as, wow, this has to be it. And then I start from there. For example, when I wrote the arrangement for Ghost series,
Yeah.
they have this big timpani sound, boom, boom.
Hmm.
And I heard thunder, the
Yeah.
word, the word thunder. And this is what sparked my inspiration to write everything else in the arrangement.
Wow.
So I
Okay.
have to
Wow.
have this one thing that kind of pops out. And then what I do, because I want it to stay metal, and metal is based on the rhythm section, it's based on
Absolutely.
groove
Hmm.
and on the guitar riff. So I
Yeah.
start by figuring out what this groove and the guitar riff is or are.
Yeah.
And then I try to translate that into vocals while keeping in mind that we don't try to imitate guitars. We do use our voice, our human voice, and some of the features that we have in our voice is the ability to use lyrics,
Yeah.
the ability to have a huge range of dynamics and colors,
Hmm.
and I try to take the most out of what's possible in the human voice without losing this sentence, this essence of the guitar riff. And I tried to
Wow.
find like a middle ground. And then everything else kind of builds up around that, if that makes sense.
It does, because that's when you explain that time was probably that experience with that guitar riff. That's the one that sticks in
Yeah.
with my mind too, and you
Yeah.
nailed that.
Thank you.
On that then, because do you write original pieces for the choir too, or mostly arrange existing metal songs?
Not yet.
Okay,
We are thinking about it, but we're not there yet.
very honest. And then, so you're not just doing metal songs, there's also other songs that you've tried too, right? Or is it only metal songs?
It's only metal songs. Like
There
there
you
is
go
rock
then.
songs. Well, like we have
Okay.
Linkin Park, Evanescence,
Oh, cool.
New
um,
metal in a way, yeah.
yeah, like Ghost. Ghost is metal, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Some would argue.
Sounds
This is why
great.
we call it rock and metal, or
Right.
metal and rock. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. What
Great
a
lane to pick.
great lane to pick. Especially for when you're wanting to push your boundaries and challenge yourself. Metal and acapella metal choir is in my opinion, that would be the best way to challenge yourself and be able to move your voice into new directions. What was the wildest arrangement you've done so far? Something that really pushed the boundaries of your choir?
I'll have to think about it. Once I did an arrangement for Symphony X's Paradise Lost,
Oh, wow.
Mm.
but I didn't mean this to be a choir piece. I just did it for myself, for fun, before hellscore even started. And
Okay.
I just recorded it by myself. I think it's still on YouTube.
Nice.
Still. But the people in hellscore asked me, that begged me to do it within the choir because it was like kind of improvised in a way. It was not, I never really sat down and organized all the voices in a way that makes sense. Like, for example, one track could be a soprano, and then the next part it's a baritone, and
Mhm.
it
Right.
was all over the place. Like the arrangement was not structured at all, but they really begged me to do it. So I tried to make sense of the arrangement, and we did perform it for several years. We don't anymore because it's just, I feel like, it's okay, but it could be better.
I respect that.
Um, yeah. Wow, what else? We have I'm blacking out now. I cannot remember
I'm so sorry.
our own arrangements, but we do have the ensemble within Hellscore, which is like 15 or 14 people within the choir who are like the most professional singers, and they
Okay.
get some extra more advanced arrangements. So it's got to be uh, something from their repertoire. For example, the For Whom the Bell Tolls by
Oh,
Metallica.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, that's a really hardcore one. And one for the big choir is Beelzebub
Beelzebub. Cool.
by Tenacious D,
Right.
that we recently released. And it's an arrangement for two choirs. One choir is the Devil, and one choir is Tenacious D.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
I
that's
So we
love
amazing.
split
that.
the choir. We split the choir in two.
Oh my God, we
And
got to
the
see that.
beatboxer is Dio. He's in the middle.
Yes.
And then and then there is this battle, and it's crazy. It's also on YouTube, so you should check
Oh
it
my
out if you
We
God.
have to check that one out. I love
can.
Tenacious D, so I'm gonna love that.
Everything we talked about, I'll put it in the description so everyone can see it too.
Awesome. Yeah, this one was super fun. Super fun.
That's amazing. And since we're talking about like some of the videos and the visuals here, we've seen the videos. It's theatrical, powerful, emotional. How important are visuals to the Hell Score experience?
It's all about the branding.
It's all about the branding, eh?
Everything is red and black.
Yes, you got that right.
Yeah, and we are taking it very seriously. We call it the dress core team.
Nice.
Yeah, the dress core
Yeah.
team, who are in charge of making sure everyone is styled. We have a makeup team on all our videos. We have a choreography team.
Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah, we take it very seriously.
And you're still wearing black and red right now.
Represent. And
I
our little pendant.
That's your pendant.
love that. I love how it has like a little devil tail on the
Yeah,
treble
yeah.
clef.
We call it the Treb Hill Clef.
The Trebhel
Oh
clef.
my
I
God,
love
nice.
it. I need one of those.
Yeah.
When it comes to live performances, is there a favorite festival or venue where you felt Hellscore really came alive?
You mean from the
Anywhere you performed?
wow, that's an interesting question because I feel like every show, every performance we do makes the choir better and
Amazing. Yeah.
um yeah, kind of helps us evolve. We did go on our first European tour a year ago with the ensemble, and we
Mhm.
performed in the Netherlands, and we had some shows in Germany, in Bremen and in Berlin. So this was like a big milestone.
Cool.
I mentioned the Therian show
Mhm.
from 2018. That was a very big milestone. The 2019 competition in Denmark was a milestone.
Yeah.
Um, I can just name all of them, and then this will be the right answer, maybe. But
Absolutely.
maybe I should point out the show we had this year in February. It was a Scardust show, but the Hellscore Ensemble, the 14 people from the Hellscore Ensemble, were on stage with us for the entire show, and we had a special guest, Ross Jennings, the singer of Haken.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
With us. Yeah, he performed several songs with Scardust, and we did some Haken songs as well. And then at some point, the entire band went off stage, and the choir was left alone with Ross.
Oh,
And we
wow.
performed one of Haken's songs, Somebody,
Right.
with Ross, a cappella.
Very
Powerful.
cool. That's so powerful.
It was. It's also on YouTube.
And it's
It's
also
also on YouTube.
Oh my God.
what I
Yeah,
think I'm
look it up.
taking from you, Noah, is maybe you're not comfortable picking favorites. And I think that's wise as someone who has like 40 members in a choir. You're not trying to pick or choose which one you like more. You're really there as a full leader and you want to give your love to everything that you're a part of. And it really shows there. So we'll try to stay away from the what's your favorite picks.
Maybe. Haven't thought about it, but maybe you're right. Maybe
Maybe,
you
I
have a
don't know.
point.
It adds to a trait of a good leader. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Thank you.
When now we can't ignore your work in Scardust because that's been phenomenal, and you just brought that up here. Those albums are a sonic roller coaster. What is the current status of the band?
We are releasing a new album on July 18th. Super
Very
excited
cool.
about this.
Called
Yes.
Souls?
Cold Souls. Yes. And Ross Jennings is on it. He is a guest singer
Wow.
in two tracks. Yeah.
Very cool. That's
Yes.
so exciting.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's great. Is there any crossover between Stardust and Hellscore in terms of ideas or performers?
I always take health score into consideration when writing music because I'm writing the choir parts for health score.
Right.
To me, health score is the sixth member of Scardust. Yeah, I think about their sound, about the different voices, their vocal range. So yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's coming up? We know you have the news album that's releasing. What else is coming up next for you? Any other new albums, collaborations, or shows that you can tease with Hellscore
And Stardust.
and Stardust?
Nothing that I can talk about. I'll just say
Okay.
that
Okay.
Hey, that still leads
for
to something.
now. For
But that
now.
says a lot though. So
Yes.
So stay
Um,
excited.
Stay tuned.
Hopefully it'll come on YouTube then. Okay, so we're actually at our last segment here, and this is fan base and Patreon. And Hellscore has such a loyal fan base, I've noticed, and they're called Hellspawns, right?
I don't know. That's the first time I hear this term, but
Oh wow, okay. Well, that's something I've looked up and studied, and I see people calling themselves Hellspawns who are part of the Hell
wow,
Store. So,
that's awesome.
well, could you tell us about your awesome community?
Yeah, we do have a Patreon page, and that's only possible thanks to a very loyal and awesome fan base. People come to our shows even if it's not uh so close to where they live. For example, when we toured Europe, I know people came like traveled 8 hours by train just to see us.
Wow,
Um, which is incredible. And they really believe in Hellscore and they support us however they can. And we're so grateful. It really allows us to keep going, keep doing what we do. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, Patreon's a powerful tool, isn't it?
it really
it is.
is.
Yeah. And we have a dedicated team from within the choir that operates the Patreon page, and
Smart.
we put a lot of effort into extra content, extra interaction behind the scenes,
Yeah.
workshops, or all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Is there any workshops going on right now?
We just did one beatbox
Oh,
workshop
beatboxing one. That's
for
cool.
for our Patreon supporters. Yes. And
Wow.
yeah, I think several times a year, I don't remember how many exactly, but we let the supporters choose what would they like to learn and they vote for it. And then
Nice.
someone from the choir um, gives a workshop.
Very
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
so cool. We saw your Patreon has some pretty metal tier names, like Baron of Hell. So that sounds
Yes.
intense. What can fans expect when they join your Patreon? You did mention workshops. Is there anything else in there?
A lot of behind the scenes. Um, Sometimes like fly on the wall videos. Um, so they feel like they were in that concert or in that rehearsal.
Nice.
Um, like an inside look into what the choir does. There is fun stuff like photo dumps from choir members. A choir member goes into their phone and picks out like 10 or 12 pictures from their camera
Life.
roll.
Yeah.
So you have to, get the singers a little better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's polls, there is birthday songs. There is
Oh,
an official Health Score birthday song that we do a cappella. And
oh
we
my
record
gosh.
one for our supporters' birthdays,
Very
which is
cool.
fun. And
Oh,
there's Q&As. There is lots of stuff. Yeah.
that's amazing. Is there any merch options as well?
Yes, right. There is exclusive patron ma merch like a mug and I think uh
Like a hoodie?
t-shirt or sweatshirt or
Right.
something like that. Yeah, really cool
Very
stuff.
cool. That's amazing.
That's a lot of great stuff to get deeper and behind the scenes. That's what we love. That's why we do the interviews as well, because we love to know behind the scenes of what actually makes you tick. And as we're closing here, we want to thank you so much for your time, Noah. Before we do let you go, though, if someone has never heard metal a cappella before, which Hellscore performance should they start with?
I would say Unsainted.
Unsainted.
Yeah, look up
Okay.
Hellscore Unsainted on YouTube. It's not the most recent one. It's from 2019,
Okay.
but it's I think it would explain really well what metal a cappella is. I also
Mhm.
teach teach it in workshops because it's
Cool.
it's not the simplest arrangement, but you can teach it within an hour and a half of a workshop, and
Very cool.
at least the chorus,
Wow.
and then you really get the feel of what it is, metal a cappella.
Right.
What exactly does this mean? Yeah.
That's incredible. And I also noticed your most popular video on YouTube is your Nightwish medley. So definitely look out for that reaction that we're going to be doing this weekend.
Oh, I'm excited now.
That's great.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Amazing.
Wow.
Where's the best place for people to follow you, support the choir, or catch your next performance?
Instagram, Facebook, obviously Patreon if you are up for it. And we also have a website, hellscore.rocks,
Yeah.
and it has all our videos, it has all the links, some extra information about the choir, our discography,
Yeah.
and our contact information. So,
Yeah, your
yeah.
website's amazing. Like it even has little blurbs on every single singer too. So if there's a singer that catches your attention, you can go check out their Instagram too. And I think that's so cool where we want all those behind the scenes.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to Michal from the choir.
Oh,
Um, everything you see from the choir is made by people in the choir.
that's so
So,
So
organic.
cool. It's
yeah.
so nice to have an organic feel when you're going in and meeting a band or a choir or like what you have with Hell Score to know that everyone is so internally involved that like you're making the website, you're making your merch, you're making everything come together um, to have such a personal experience.
Yeah. I feel really blessed. It's a really amazing group of people.
Well, I want to say thank you, Noah, for having us or hanging out with us today and being here for this amazing interview. It's been so amazing to learn about HealthScore and what you have brought together, starting from this small a classroom that you came together, made a choir with 10 to 11 people in your living room to now having this 40-person phenomenal metal choir that bands can reach out to and collaborate with to really bring their music to the next level. Because when I heard Time and I heard Hellscore with Time, I really thought that Hellscore brought Time to that next level. And I'm a huge fan of metal choirs myself. So Hellscore has really been inspiring to me. So I want to thank you for coming here and hanging out with us today.
Wow, it really, really means a lot, and it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. And to all of our viewers, be sure to like, subscribe, and check out Hell Score. Trust us, it's unlike anything you've ever heard before. And with that said, we are now done episode 21 of Storytime with E.T.C.
Thank you so much, Noah, for being here with us.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate it. We were very nervous for this interview because we just want to make sure we're doing a good job representing all these amazing bands that have helped our channel and our lives so much too.
You are doing a fantastic job.
Really appreciate that then. And we're hoping you'll check out our next reaction. And we're looking forward to supporting you on your journeys moving forward.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for all the time. And you have a good night yourself because I'm sure it's late over there.
It's okay. It's 9 p.m.
Oh,
Have a
yeah, that's
good
not too
day.
bad. Yeah, it's only 11 a.m. here.
That's so cool.
Okay,
All
take care,
right.
eh?
Take
You
care.
too.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Noah.
Bye.
Thank
This
you.
is lovely.